Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, May 18th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. A couple of quick clarifications. First off, the price you see over here is going to be moving around, and the candlestick you see right there will also be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, XELA, did this yesterday. And to the comment, I thank you. I appreciate it. But there were some people commenting about this thing's got a $400 price target, and okay. I mean, to be fair though, I could put out a $1,000 price target on Twitter. I'm not sure that means a whole lot, but I do appreciate your comments nonetheless. So who knows? Maybe in a week from now, I'm going to be looking stupid because this thing's going to be up at $400. But that's a bit of a ways off. But nonetheless, another very nice move here. Chart put in higher highs, higher lows compared to the previous areas, and that's really all you can ask for. And we have ourselves another nice little pattern here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines as they serve their purpose for now, because I want to just focus on the newest pattern here that you got to think a lot of people are watching. And that's always important when a lot of people are watching the same areas, because as I always say, self-fulfilling prophecy or not, if a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same things, then it can produce good dynamic movements just because people are buying because, well, I'm a breakout player, I'm supposed to buy. And that's where that trend line comes into play, meaning while there's no guarantees, is it plausible to think that if the price comes up here and then breaks up through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? Yeah, absolutely, because people are buying, again, just because they're breakout players. As far as areas of support, I would keep an eye now on that pink line right there, which on my chart denotes the 200 period moving average, currently valid at, we'll just call it $6.20. And then just from an overarching pattern perspective, let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big move up like that. Then for you golfers out there, we'll put the golf hole down here to make them that much more visual. So we just have a good multi-day bull pennant pattern. So if you like stocks down below $5, you like bull pennants, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, IMMP, and this is one where if you like to play pullbacks, then this is a good-looking situation. And the nice thing about these is you no longer have to worry about being the person that's, all right, am I suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out? Am I going to be the sucker that buys the top? That has already happened. The suckers that bought the top are buying up there. Now, don't get me wrong, just because it's pulled back doesn't mean that it can't keep pulling back. But my point here is that at least that worry has been eliminated. This is not one of these situations where you're going to have on your mind, uh-oh, am I buying the top? No, you would be buying a pullback. Now, like I said, things can keep pulling back. That's why risk management matters. But nonetheless, at least that has been eliminated in terms of, not having to worry about being the sucker that buys the top. And what sticks out to me right here is $2.50, because in all actuality, the price could come down here, find some support and work back up. And what would you still have from a big picture point of view? Well, you'd have a set lows right there. You'd have that low down there. You'd have that one. And if you envision each of these as stair-steps, and again, emphasis on big picture, from the bigger picture point of view, you'd still have stair-steps progressing in the upwards direction. So I'm not saying that the price is headed down to 250. I'm just saying that even if it does, it seems like a plausible area what could bounce. And then just from an overarching standpoint, the chart would still technically be plenty bullish. Now, there is that perspective. I understand that if you are the sucker that bought the top and we're planning on buying and selling within 10 minutes, yes, from that angle, the chart looks terrible. But I'm trying to differentiate between more of a day trader viewpoint and then somebody that cares about the bigger picture point of view. But yeah, as far as pullbacks are concerned, 250, an interesting level. Next one, TIO, and not a whole lot I can say right now in terms of opportunities, because yes, technically speaking, the opportunity has passed from a breakout viewpoint. But the idea of a watch list is to find unique, to find interesting situations, and not rush out and start buying stuff, but watching it. And in my opinion, at least, I consider breakouts a worthwhile and interesting situation, because when something breaks out, you get to ask the very exciting question, oh wow, is this the start of something even bigger? Think about that. Could I ask that question if there was never a breakout? No, because, well, is what the start of anything bigger? Nothing's even happened, but in this situation, it has. So yes, in some senses, a little bit of a disappointment, because that breakout has been missed. But if this is the start of a much bigger breakout, of a much bigger movement, then who knows? Maybe looking back here, we're saying, geez, can you remember when this thing was just at $5? So like I said, if you like these situations that have broken out and then you want to watch them continue to develop and look for whether it's a pullback or try to play some sort of continued momentum in the upwards direction, then keep an eye on it. Next one here, BHC, very simple premise, and I like simple premises, but you got to think that everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching $8.50 as far as that key area of resistance, as it rejected the price both there and there. So once again, introducing that whole talking point of self-fulfilling prophecies. Keep an eye on $8.50. And then as far as areas of support are concerned, Seems to be having a bottoming area right down around here. In fact, we'll give a little bit more wiggle room down to $7.30, and I'll change that to green. So keep an eye on that from more so a support standpoint. But in my opinion, at least, I think the most interesting dynamic is if this thing can curl itself around, get back up around that area, and potentially push up through the 850 mark. If that does happen, then yeah, seems reasonable that there could be more buying pressure that pours in just because it's breaking out. Next one here, AMC. Very, very nice day on this one, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, but if you did, I mean, I'm not patting myself on the back, but I am going to pat charts on the back because they are a worthwhile tool, but I put that green line in play. If you don't believe me, I'm not offended. All you got to do is go back and watch the video archive, and you'll see I put that in play, and look at that. Beautiful bounce off that level. So for any of you that watched the past videos and, picked up some shares down there to play the bounce, you are getting paid very, very nicely. So yeah, all in all, very nice bounce. That does lead to the question of, is there any sort of genuine power behind this bounce? And that is where this first update is very important. Right here at let's call it the $5 mark. And this is just based on the general rule that when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And this is very important because if this is a truly strong move, you don't want to see the price going back to where it was, meaning prices that go up and then all of a sudden go back to where they were, not a sign of true power. But to be fair, nothing goes straight up. But if the price comes up here and the difference being pulls back here and then goes sideways, what do you have in this situation? Well, now you have a low there, you have a low down there, and then you can draw yourself some upward stair steps. In other words, the price is making progress. So in my mind, that's why $5 is a very, very important level because it's helping us answer that question. Is this bounce the start of something even bigger? If it is, it's going to show signs of progress. What is the sign of progress? Staying up above the $5 mark. In terms of levels of resistance, all eyes now going to be at that trend line right there, at least in my opinion, which I drew from a few days ago. So the price is nearing that level. Can it break? We'll see what happens. But yeah, no doubt about it. Nice bounce today. Does it have genuine power? Like I said, let's see if it can now show progress. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then certainly get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely keep an eye on it and get signed up for the class. Next one, SMFL. Very brutal move today to think that there are some poor souls that were buying up there. But the last 30 minutes, as I speak, getting a nice little green candle. Volume's actually coming in here decently right there. So yeah, is this the start of maybe some sort of turnaround? Well, it would make sense if it is. And I say that because, well, look right where the price essentially has found some buyers right here from the lows during that opening 30 minutes. So price came down here, all the way back down. So now it's really just a question of, is this some sort of double bottom turnaround? Now, when I say turnaround, I don't necessarily mean that it's going all the way back up to those highs. I mean, of course, that's possible. But my point here is that from a risk-reward scenario, let's say if it even just goes up to $4, relative to what's being risked, assuming, of course, you're going to be disciplined, you could be looking at a very nice trade setup here, again, from a risk-reward scenario. So even if a modest bounce compared to what's being risked, then you could be looking at a nice situation. So if you like to play these where the price shows a lot of power, pulls back, and then is now potentially showing some sort of double bottom, I'd certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, WETG, for those of you penny stock players out there, and I'm going to make this pretty straightforward here because, yes, I realize that right now, ever since that move upwards this morning, there is this downwards channel that has formed. But assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, part of that is, well, what was going on before this downwards channel? And what was going on before is this huge move up like that, which has now allowed me to draw a bull flag pattern. So if you like penny stocks, if you like bull flag patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and what a breakout today. Once again, the power of charts, and so I'll turn this into a quick plug. Get signed up for that class. For those of you that watch past videos, you know that I put that line into play, and you can see this morning came up, broke that line, and then has had an absolutely fantastic day here. So nice breakout move on Tesla. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines here. They all serve their purpose. And then talk about a couple of near-term levels. First near-term level would be this level of support right down there around the 172.25 mark. So any sort of pullbacks there, I can see that being an interesting level. From more of an overarching standpoint, that purple line there carries a little bit more weight. But like I said, that really kind of depends. Maybe you would consider that super far away, but that just depends on your strategy there. But point here being is that more so the near term, I don't know, we'll call it maybe a day trader type support right there. And then an overall bigger picture support down there, that 50 period moving average. In terms of levels of resistance, again, same general idea, more so maybe if you want to call it a day trading resistance right there at 174.50. And then with the overarching resistance up there around the 176.50 market. But anyway, look at it. Monster move today. Great volume. Not just a question of does this momentum continue? Grab your popcorn and let's see what happens on Thursday. Next one here, AMD, and same general idea as the one I talked about earlier. I don't remember quite what it was. I think TIO, but the breakout on this one has happened. So for those of you that watched yesterday's video, drew out this pattern, you can see that the price had a false breakdown, recovered nicely, came up, has broken out, continues to move upwards, which now prompts the question of, say it with me, is this the start of something bigger? And it is AMD, so a very popular stock. So while, of course, that doesn't guarantee anything, it does add a little bit more spiciness that, hey, you know what? A breakout has occurred on a well-defined pattern on a very popular stock. So it's reasonable to think that there's just that many more eyeballs watching it. So if you like breakouts and like to play these situations where, okay, the breakout has happened, sure, but is the start of even something bigger with even more momentum to come, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if the NASDAQ, market as a whole has a great day, this one will also have a great day, which is why there is just this huge breakout here. So for those of you that watched yesterday's video, I put in that trend line right there. I don't need to say much more. Price came up there, broke through it, and has continued to beast mode upward. So if you caught that breakout, congratulations to you. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these lines here because today's movement was so big that it's made a lot of these areas somewhat irrelevant. And now we got to squeeze things down here. And I know the chart's getting hard to see, but that really just, oh, wow. I did not realize that. We might need to change time frames. Yeah, okay. Well, I did not realize that this is the highest this thing's been in a very long time. So let's change the daily time frame because we're going to have to go back further. There we go. So, yeah, that's a good problem to have when you have to go back this far into the chart's history. So I did not realize that this thing, we are at multi-month highs right now. So I'll get rid of all these lines with the next key battleground being right up here at, what is that, 30.75. No, I think I'm lying. What is that? Let me double check here. I apologize. I did not realize it was a high of 31. So there we go. $31. And this is coming from way back here in, let's see, September of 2022. So I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying multi-month highs here. So overall, huge breakout here. And good solid volume, so that'll be the next key battleground, 31. I will zoom back in here, though, for the 30-minute. So once again, now we're going back to looking at each of those candles representing 30 minutes. And from a support side of things, key level of support now going to be that former breakout area, which sits right down here at the $29.75 mark. But yeah, all in all, impressive move today and impressive, like I said, multi-month high. So yeah, let's see how this week continues to play out. But so far, so good for the NASDAQ. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for the free class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, May 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, please do two things for me. Hit the like button, leave a comment. Tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But leaving a comment and hitting that like button help out the algorithm, help out the channel, and help out these videos. And as long as I know people are enjoying, then I will continue to put in the effort required to get this content out to you. So thanks for hanging out. Get signed up for that class. Take care.